If I cannot find suppliers in China who can actually deliver, there is no business. I moved my entire life and I've put everything on the line. Today, we're going deep inside of China. We're building partnerships with suppliers that you could never do over the phone. And going inside the world's largest trading fair with 25,000 exhibitors under one roof. Are we gonna find the partners in China who can bring our business to life? Well, let's find out.
谢谢，再见。
All right, we're at our first supplier here. And so we came to these guys a couple of weeks ago. A lot of our model is based on the ability to just buy one tile because we want to sell to retail customers in Australia who don't want to buy hundreds of square meters, which means they can't get access to China level pricing. Hi, ni hao. Eric, nice to meet you. Jack, it's my brother, Didi.
Nick, hey, nice to meet you too.
So we just want to look at the styles and designs. So we sell a lot to Australia, and so looking for a different partner to be able to start buying tiles from.
This is, you see the body?
Yeah, China tile.
It's not China tile. This is very bad body. You see, which is better?
Perfection.
Oh yeah. Through there.
In your opinion, which is better?
Well, yeah, that one. We think if we find the right supplier here in China that we want to partner with, maybe that's you, where you have stock of a lot of these tiles on hand. And so, you know, it might not be the cheapest. We're not trying to squeeze you on price. We're able to pick up that stock from your warehouse as we sell it and then ship it directly to the customer. So for us, it means we can price it way more competitively in Australia. It could be a cheaper tile for everyone, but then also we don't have all these costs like everyone else does, and you guys can still make more margin because we're obviously buying directly from you and just picking up that existing stock. Maybe a good question is, you know, for example, this, how much of this do you have on stock, do you know?
This one,
roughly?
Normally we keep about 500 square meter.
Okay. Yeah. So like for this as well, 500 square meter, 500
This
square
one, for the big tiles, at least 2,000 square meter.
Okay, good. So what we want to do to start is buy that.
You have a good idea, and your business is a new business, you know. So nobody try in.
Yeah.
So I cannot tell too much about good or not good. Just go ahead.
Yeah.
Just try. Yeah. Because you're young, we can try.
Yeah. Okay. Good. All right. Well, good. As long as you give us good prices, then we'll buy from you.
For sure.
Good. All right. Perfect. So I think we pulled it off. I think he's in. I think he wants to do it. And they've got all the stock range and everything we could possibly want here. So it's super exciting. And we've narrowed down, I think, what we're looking for. Because so many styles here, but it gives us a good starting point from day one. And now we're trying to get a sample to take back to Australia as an example, just so we can compare, tiles from this supplier to another supplier to another supplier to make sure we're always getting the very, very best quality. Handsome boy. He's coming.
Yeah. Boss.
Perfect. Thanks, Eric. Let's go.
I'm already tall in China. I'm so short.
No, actually you are. You're like very tall for China standards.
Yeah, already tall in China, but you.
Yeah, so you went swimming at the beach?
Yes, in the Gold
Gold Coast?
Yeah, Gold Coast.
Oh, no way. Very cool.
I'm going out with my brain in the base. All those sounds in the world fill the place, and we're grown to the sky till we
Yeah, it's good, and it feels actually feels like P3.
fill the place, and we're grown to the sky till we can't see the main, still we leave it behind, and we find an escape. I miss going out with my brain.
Well, I think that went well.
That went great.
Yeah, very good, very happy. Nick got himself maybe we'll get a sample, but I think in terms of pricing, they can be more competitive, and it seems like when you go to these suppliers and you're building this in-person relationship, you're making jokes, you're making comments, there's the level of trust you cannot get online. So you have to be here. And so you witness that. And so when you're here in China and you're trying to build relationships with suppliers, just try and be a normal human being is what I find works. Ask them, what family members do they have? Nick's my Didi, my little brother. And so they're very excited by that. And so showing photos of my mum and, Nick playing rugby and all the thing. And so just trying to be as human as possible is what makes the difference, because, you know, when they think about who they want to do business with, they're human as well. They want to do business with people they like, they trust, and they're friends with, and they don't want us to screw them over. And so that's the only thing I care about proving to these guys, that we're going to be their partner, we're going to make them a hell of a lot of money, and ourselves in the process as well. Don't fall over, Jesus. All right, we're going to get DD to our next supplier now and do the exact same thing, but on a better scale. We're trying to get a full-size sample to take back to Australia for a big developer that we're working with. And so we started this whole journey working with developers in Australia to kind of like test our model. And so like developers pay so much for things like tiles, and they know months in advance what they actually need. So we thought, before we sell to retail customers, why don't we sell to developers? They can send us their spec sheets, we come here, we spec match, so we get the exact same tile from China to send to Australia and help them on their projects. And so this here, we just need a full-size sample to take back to Australia. And we're going to order thousands of square meters of this. So it's been a good journey just learning, like, you know, when you're trying to start a business, trying to figure out like what is the path to test. And for us, this is our path to test, working with developers to begin with. But you always want to figure out like what is a way that you can have a thesis first and then figure out a way to then prove that thesis, whether it's we think we can be the cheapest in the market. Okay, well, how do we prove that? Well, let's go to developers and start testing and bringing in some tiles and see if we can be. And you can apply that same philosophy to any business model that you want to start. Think about what is your right to win, what is your competitive advantage, that thesis you have, because you don't know if that's going to come true. Like you don't know if you're going to be the cheapest in the market until you start to sell, or you want to brand something a certain way. You think people will care. You don't know until you start selling. So always figure out how can you win, what is your right to win, and how can you test that as quickly as possible to see if you can get a foothold in the market. So for us, we've been doing this now for, you know, nearly a year. I think we've got a pretty strong foothold, and now it's time to go retail and like take this business to like the total moon. Yeah, so you see a lot of this stuff, like it's not, like that's never, ever gonna sell in Australia. And so it's nice to come to these showrooms and just walk around and like see the ranges and styles and stuff. But you know, when you're in China, you just like, there's just a lot of this just like walking around, and that's why it's so hard. Like Australians coming here and trying to like buy stuff from China is not an easy thing to do, because you think that it's just like turning up and just everything works, but it doesn't. You're going showroom visit after showroom visit after factory tour after factory tour, and sometimes it gets to you. I mean, it's lovely having Nicky and my brother, because Nick's like, I like to say as switched on as I am, if not even more switched on. You see him, he's totally dialed in. There's exactly what we need, what we want, why we want it, what styles are gonna work, etc. But yeah, man, just, I know I shouldn't say this, but it's just like, sometimes it's just tiring. I mean, we got off the plane this morning on a flight. I'm running on like 4 hours of sleep. But yeah, we G up. But no, it's fine. It's just good to see all this stuff again. But there's only so many tiles I can look at before I want to throw a tile at someone. But it's all going to be worth it. I'm just excited to get the website live and start selling. And the business is literally named Bloomfield after Nick and I, which we thought was a really good name because it's like blooming building, like, same. And so we have to make this work, and there's a lot at stake here as well. Because, when I think about, previously I was in New York running a software business. I got out of that for a lot of money, and so I did really well. And so like this is my next rodeo, and a lot rides on this being successful. Otherwise, I'm gonna look like a total tool. And my relationship with Nick also verges on this working, because Nick's putting a lot at stake here to be able to help me with this business. He's given up a lot of things to be here in China, just even this week, spending time with me here. And so for as much as it's all like sunshine and rainbows and smiles, making this work really means a hell of a lot. And so what's on the line over these next couple of weeks is like getting our website live, making sure we're working with the right suppliers, fulfilling our initial customer orders, just getting everything in a row. Because, you know, Nick's only 21 and I owe it to him, I think, to make sure that we give this the very, very best shot. This is not my first time doing this, it's my second rodeo. And this is also not my first time launching an e-com business. So I think when you're thinking about like starting a business and becoming an entrepreneur, there's always just thinking about like, what is the next practical, logical step that you can take? It's super easy when you're walking around these showrooms to overcomplicate things and like get really stressed out about, oh, what am I gonna do? And how am I gonna buy this? And this isn't cheap enough. And there's 100 reasons to why something won't work. But just always trying to think about like, what are the things, like what are you trying to get to? What is the North Star? And track back from that. So what are the like 3, 4, 5 major hurdles that you need to jump over for you to win? For us, it's getting our website live, figuring out our stock range with our suppliers, getting our initial order, so getting one person to buy some tiles from us. It's like, yeah, okay, great, we've got one customer. And then figuring out how to market and scale. Those would be like the 4 major hurdles I would see that we need to be able to do over this next month to win. And so when you're thinking about starting a business and becoming an entrepreneur, don't overcomplicate it. I would put money on the fact that 98% of people don't win in business because they think it's so goddamn hard. But really it's not. It's only hard if you make it hard. And so just always be thinking about what are those basic steps. And Nick's very good at that as well. He's always just thinking about what is the logical thing that we need to do next and cut out all the crap in between there and there. Lovely to meet you again. Good to see you. Well, I think that went really well. So I've been living here now for a month and a half, and half the time so living in Hong Kong. And I literally moved for this business. That's how committed we are. And I've spent a lot of time with that supplier there, just like they're one of the biggest here in China. And so when you're thinking about reliability, quality, making sure that we can deliver to customers on time, that is the thing that's going through my head. And as you can see, the sales lady there, Lily, her English is perfect. And so, you know, they're not a trading company. They actually own the factories that are producing the tiles. And so being as close to the source as possible is what we really, really care about. This is Nick's first time going to see Lily.
Lily and I have an online relationship. It's a love-hate relationship. When we need something done, she's always a little bit of pushback.
Yeah.
I think that's good because she sets realistic timelines. She doesn't just say yes, 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 and then when things don't get done, you throw your arms up in the air. She'll push back, but then she'll also work hard for you. And she understands that we've got pressure on our end, she's got pressure on her end, and everyone's trying to get the outcome that they want.
Yeah, and do you agree that in China, what we find quite often is everyone's willing to say yes to do things, but then when it actually comes to delivering, that's a whole nother thing.
Oh, they'll say yes, but there'll always be something that they'll take. So like, for example, you want something cheaper, they'll send your tiles without pallets, for example, and they'll just waddle them into a container and then tell you to pick them up and move them when you get there. So there's always a give and take sort of scenario. So when they say yes and they're easy to say yes, just know that it's coming from somewhere.
Yeah, so maybe even define what yes. If they're, you know, compromising on something, figure out what they're compromising on before you agree to, you know, even if you get them on a cheaper price, don't just think you've won. Really try to put some thought into it.
Exactly, and it's like you might get a cheaper price for something, but like you want to pick your battles. Like we pick our battles with a lot with payment terms because like we can get better financing if there's bigger deals. Rather than just getting it 5% cheaper, we get better payment terms. Makes it a lot easier for everyone.
Yeah, and I mean with us though, it's pretty unique because we're not trying to buy, you know, containers and containers of tiles. Our model is we're shipping directly to the customer straight out of the factory. And so, you know, someone like Lily, the company she works for, you know, they have thousands of square meters on hand at any one point in time, which means that we, unlike a traditional retailer, don't have to go and put up tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars for like one style, wait for it to land to Australia on a boat, and then warehouse it and then sell it to the customer. So when you're thinking about a China business and you're thinking about winning, it's all about like, what are you gonna do that's different than everyone else? And I think in today's day and age, there is so much, whether it be like okay, we're going to house everything in China. We're going to send it out of China. We're not going to try and westernize the whole thing. Trying to like use China to your advantage versus just like defaulting to what everyone else in the market does is how you create these businesses that have this competitive edge that eventually win the market, and everyone else just stands there and go, oh, why weren't we doing that beforehand? And that's what we're trying to do. All right, so we're back in the hotel, and I think we had a really, really good day with supplies. I'm super clear, or more clear than I was this morning. I am more clear now on kind of where we need to start. And our website's gonna go live in the next couple of weeks. It probably actually already is by the time this is live. So if it is, you can like check the bio and buy some tiles from us. But it's kind of like, this is the most important step. So when you click on that link, check out what we've been building. Is it a relevant tile range for the majority of Australians? That's what we need to be able to hit, and we're doing it at the most competitive price possible that no one has ever seen. So on that note, I'm gonna do some emails and we'll get ready for tomorrow. So we're here at the Canton Fair. What is this place? It is the largest trade expo in the entirety of the world. So you see how many people are here? They're all here importing products into their home countries. I've been coming here since I was a teenager, and it's a great opportunity, at least in my mind, to like see what China has to offer the world.
Love me, love me, love me, love me, love me, yeah, 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 love me, oh, love me, love me, love me, love me, yeah, yeah, yeah.
As you can see, like this place literally goes on for kilometers and kilometers and kilometers. So just the scale of China and its manufacturing abilities is like fully on display here. If you come to the Canton Fair, don't feel obliged to have to buy. A lot of the time, like this is just an explorative journey, but being here is kind of, I think, really important if you just want to get a gauge on what China is like and whether China is the right place for you to source your product from. I guarantee it is. Also, when you're talking to suppliers, one thing that you can kind of gauge is, do the people who you're talking to actually know the answers to your questions? You find that if they have to run back and ask someone, more often than not, they're like uni students. So a lot of suppliers here will just hire uni students, not real sales reps, to represent their brand. Even though they might look big, they're really not. And so you can kind of get a feel as well for the professionalism of a supplier based on just even who they have on the floor and who you're talking to, because they're the ones that can kind of give you that information that you need to make a buying decision. And when you talk to suppliers, you actually realize how expensive it is for a lot of them to be here. Like it costs tens of thousands of dollars plus for like a really crappy booth. And so you want to get a good booth, you're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of investment. So I like when you think about that, supplies typically are better quality because being here, they actually have to, it's like a pay to play. So you don't just get the really crappy suppliers that can just kind of get themselves onto Alibaba, which is still expensive, but get themselves a listing on Alibaba. They've actually got to show up, have a team and be here.
Walking the fair, you start to realize everyone here has a different story to tell. A why to the reason they traveled thousands of kilometers to be here. Last night, I put one Instagram story up announcing a meetup, and honestly, I had no idea who was going to come. What I didn't expect was that there'd be entrepreneurs from 12 different countries.
Hey man, I'm Jack. What's your name?
Vanshil.
My name is Aval.
Rakesh. Bart.
I'm Vijay. Jose Eduardo.
Ezra.
Where are you from?
India.
Gold Coast. From Las Vegas. Brazilian. From the UK. Australia. America.
So you can come in if you want. Come in. Like big circle.
I saw your Instagram story and I was like, I have to come and meet you, and it's just such an inspiration. I just want to tell you that.
No, man, thank you so much.
Because it's very inspirational, at least for me, and I'm sure for other people.
I love the videos.
And thank you, man. And what was your family like when you said you wanted to come to China?
Oh, my family, you know, like when you don't have success, they're like, you know.
What are you doing?
Since with the car parts, like it kind of showed them like, oh, there's money in this. Because I also didn't want to go to college either.
Yeah,
so
nice.
So they're like, you have to find something, you know what I mean? What did your parents say when you're just like, yeah, I'm moving, one-way ticket?
I mean, the first time I moved was the US, and that was 18. Like your parents, they want to see something work. And so like it was always like, they always wanted me to go to college. And then I came out when I was like 16 and I was like, I don't want to go to college anymore. And they were like, oh, geez, okay. And so that was a big thing. And the reason that they got past that is because the business started to work, and they kind of just understood that whatever I was going to do was going to be different than most other kids. I took comfort in knowing that like parents operate off what worked for them. And you realize that if they haven't walked a very similar path to what you've walked or what you're trying to walk, then their advice is going to be probably not that relevant. And so there's definitely lessons you can learn from them, and there's ways that you can ask them questions.
Let me do whatever.
Yeah. It'll get easier as you get older as well.
Yeah, true.
Awesome, man. Well, lovely to meet you, Byron. Good to meet you guys. Pleasure. Enjoy it. Good luck. Awesome, guys. You want to jump in? We'll get a photo. Canton Fair Global Share. Thanks, Byron.
Look, I've learned that entrepreneurship is never a straight line, and winning, well, it's about trying. It's showing up day after day. It's putting in the reps when no one is watching. And sometimes you get a public victory. You get to show everyone what you are doing. And it's nice when things are going well. But 99% of the time, it is hard conversations. It's the make or break decisions, and it's doing right even when it's hard. This is what makes an entrepreneur. I hope that by doing my thing, it inspires you even more to do yours.